Hi, this is Dan Marks from Sellers and Seekers and sellingic.com. I'm here today at Servpro, as you can see here behind me. We are in Iowa City. A lot of you folks might be looking at these green and orange trucks driving around Iowa City and wondering, what is Servpro? Well, today we're going to take a look at what they do and how they help out buyers and sellers here in the Iowa City area. Let's take a look. I am joined today with Michele Presley here at Servpro in Iowa City. Thank you very much for taking time with us. She is the Chief Operating Officer here at Servpro. First of all, what is Servpro?
Yeah, so we're a mitigation company and construction company. Been around for over 50 years in the local area here in Iowa City for and many years, probably 20 or so, taking care of the community. And we do emergency service work. So water, fire, mold, storm cleanup, just taking care of people's buildings and structures, homes, businesses, after emergency situations that they just aren't quite sure how to clean up themselves and need a professional to do.
Absolutely. That is very valuable work for us. In the real estate community, you have a very good reputation, and that's kind of why I'm here today. What kind of property issues do you see most often that homeowners didn't even realize could impact their sale?
Most of the time it's odor situations, mold, cleaning, general cleaning. Maybe there was a situation where maybe it was a hoarder situation, a collector of stuff. And now, the family's involved in selling the home and isn't quite sure how to get everything out of there. A lot of people don't know we do that. But most people know about the mold and the odor removal for the most part, and the carpet cleaning. But that's one thing that we've been doing more and more work on in regards to the hoarding and stuff, overall stuff that's in a property, and getting it ready and viewable for showings.
We've definitely seen a fair amount of that out there. A lot of properties get nicknames for things like that. Now, how does Servpro step in when a contract may fall apart due to inspection findings?
Yeah, so we find that with inspections, it's usually at the 10th hour, right? You're really close to closing, and then all of a sudden now there is a report that says, hey, we have a concern that you want a professional to check into this spot because of microbial growth. We're not sure what this is. Maybe we have discovered some type of water infiltration that, and damage to the structural material that they're unsure if it's been properly mitigated. And so where we come in is we will do those full inspections quickly so that we can determine if something needs to get done before the sale. Occasionally, we've had a few projects where, let's say it's rained really heavy, closings tomorrow, and a sump pump just stops working randomly. Worked great for the last 15 years. Day before closing, it stops working.
Every time.
And yep, and they do that final inspection walkthrough, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, we have water damage. Now, is what we do really well is we'll come in and we'll get an emergency evaluation done on that property and be able to determine an estimate so that then that way that closing can still happen. We'll work with the seller, we'll work with the buyer, we'll work with the real estate agent, we'll work with all parties involved to make sure that that sale can still happen, right? And make sure that it's ready to go, or that if it isn't ready to go, that they have a plan, an executable plan that everybody agrees to, so that things can still move forward.
You must be dealing with a lot of very emotional moments there.
You're selling and or buying the biggest asset of your life, right? And so when you're doing that, it is incredibly overwhelming, and there's so many moving parts. There's so much excitement. There's so much, involvement of emotion, and it can really, and stress of just making sure every box is checked. And when you're making that biggest financial decision, it's a big deal. And when something all of a sudden goes awry, you want to feel comfortable still with moving forward. with that transaction.
Right. Now, time is of the essence. We all know that expression from real estate. Speed matters in real estate. How does your team help agents and sellers stay on track in tight closing timelines?
Yeah, so same situation. We just need a phone call right away. Be very upfront about those tight time frames, so that we can push testing companies along. If let's say we have to take air samples, mold air samples to confirm that there's no concern, or if there is a concern, develop a plan. And so we want to make sure that we're using the best vendors that we can and labs that can keep moving that project along so that we can meet the timeline. So the biggest thing is just let us know what you need, when you need it by, and then we'll do our best to make sure that, through our network of relationships, that we're doing it the quickest that it needs to be for the most cost-effective manner.
Right, right. Well, now, from your perspective, what are the biggest issues that delay a home sale, and how does ServPro help solve those quickly?
I think the biggest ones are either water or mold. Water damage that wasn't treated appropriately, maybe structural concerns with water damage on the drywall or on, trim that's, swelled out. And so then it'll draw attention, during the inspection. And then the other concern is microbial growth. And is it something that we need to be concerned about? Is it not? Is it something that can be treated? Is it something that's, going to require extensive repair? Just making sure that, we're looking at that completely and then being able to prepare that for them.
Now, for agents listening, how can partnering with ServPro give them a competitive edge in their marketplace?
Absolutely. I think developing a relationship with your local ServPro person, business development, project managers in your area is really key. The reason being is when you need something, it's not from 8 to 5, right? You're showing maybe at the end of the day, you're showing maybe on a Saturday morning. The best thing that you can do is build that relationship ahead of time, have that person's cell phone number, be able to send a text message and some photos over, and you can usually get an answer and or a course of action or a laid out plan very, very quickly. The ServPro industry and the staff that works with our team know we're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Things don't happen 8 to 5 historically. And so building that relationship and having those connections, you can always call the office and then talk to whoever's on call, and they'll direct you where you need to go. But it's just so much simpler in today's society with everything being on our phones, just to be able to have that relationship ahead of time and then send a quick text of what you need and when you need it.
Fantastic. Well, again, I appreciate you spending time with us here today. This information is very valuable to our viewers out there. How can they reach you?
Yeah, so email, calling our office is the easiest. So we're on Google, ServPro of Iowa City, and you can just type in 319-338-8550. That's our number. And then obviously our email addresses. My email is adjusting and changing for those who have known me over the course of the years, but it's mpresley@servproteamkellogg.com. So it's with 2 G's, 2 L's, 2 G's in Team Kellogg.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.